welcome back, everyone. This is the Island Guys FPL podcast with Dari and Dari. We have a special guest, a top 10 player on our league on the show here today, and I'm sure we're going to get some tips, advice. He's a Gunner fan, so we're going to go into that. Welcome, Elon, to the show.
Welcome. Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Elon, before we get in, off air, we were talking about the storming this weekend. I woke up, I live in LA, so I had to wake up extra early to watch that game at 7 o'clock, and then to see it get cancelled was a little disappointment. What was your take on what happened to your team? I'll pull up your team while it's going on, while that was happening.
Well, to be honest, I was surprised that it got postponed. I thought they would have pushed on and still had it. But at the same time, the fact that I lost those players, they were very common players for most teams. So actually, it didn't hurt me too bad because I think most of the top 10 would have all of these players. So it would have balanced out at the end. But as far as the details, the politics, to be honest, I tend not to get into that. So I'm not sure, the validity of that move that they would have done that caused this delay. But at the same time, I guess I could have done a little better. I brought in Ceballos because I felt I needed an Arsenal person.
Because your team is AC Gunners, or because you're trying to win fantasy?
No. Well, as far as I'm just trying to get the most points I can, right? That's usually how I operate. But I felt as though in form, Ceballos was having a few games and is within my price range for what I wanted to plan to do a little later.
Oh yeah, he had 13 points in the last, 20 points in the last 4 game weeks, so you're averaging about 5 per game. So I actually bypassed him for a lot of times. Yeah, that seemed like a good move.
Yeah. And he's cheap. He's 4.7.
Right.
He's cheap. So, but at the end of the day, even with that 3 points, I was grateful for it because, again, I mean, it was the average this week was 39, as is showing there. So it didn't hit me too bad.
Right now,
I was surprised by Lingard though.
Right now, I'm seeing you 39,000 and you only inside the top 50K. In your history, is this one of your best seasons, or you're normally up there?
I was in the earlies. I was in within the top 1100 already.
Oh, I'm looking at that right now.
So
and you had a 2002 finish as well, right outside the top 2000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
2010-11.
Elon, what's your strategy? You seem to be consistent with that. What's your strategy going into the start of the season? Are you a stats guy? You go the eye test? Where you going?
Definitely stats, because I don't get a chance to watch games really. I only watch highlights for the most part. I try to see what highlights talk about, and then I look at what the data says, and usually that's how I make the decision. Because of COVID, I've been able to see some games, but for the most part, it's stats. Yeah. But obviously, once you look at highlights, you can see who the key players are. So we're not looking at no 20-minute highlight. We're looking at maybe like 15 minutes. Not 2 minutes, but like about 15 minutes. So when you see that, I just usually see who's involved the most, who's not involved, and then the data does the rest.
So how do you feel emotionally, before we get into the real nitty-gritty of this discussion, emotionally right now, the fact that you're top 6 in our league and the balance it off with Arsenal being, I think, where Arsenal are in table right now, 8th or 9th?
9th.
Yeah, so how are you dealing with that? Because you're doing well, your team not doing well?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day...
Arsenal fans out there?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I am an Arsenal fan, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan, and at the end of the day, it's not as though I'm making paper off of this, right? So I'm more focused on my team, if anything, and I'm loyal, as you can tell. I have one Arsenal player. This must be the first or second Arsenal player I think I've had in my team since the season started, because they're not doing what they need to be doing, and if they ain't doing what they need to be doing, I do support them, but something needs to happen, something needs to change. this transition period is lasting a little too long. I love my team though. If they could get into that, if they could actually get into that area, I would be grateful to see that. But
Well,
they're inconsistent.
you guys could still make the Champions League if you win the Europa League this year. Any thoughts on that? How confident are you on a 1 to 100 percentage? Give me a percentage that I think Arsenal will win the Europa League.
Well, percentage.
Well,
What kind of question is that?
This is the last question, I promise, before we get into the FPL stuff. Last question.
Well, the way they play right now, I would say about what 60%.
60% that they're going to win the Europa League.
And that is 60% based on it's it's a cup game, so anything can happen on the day.
All right. And you guys have won. You guys have won the FA Cup under Arteta already, so I still think that's a big number. I mean, but
and that's why I give it an extra points.
All right. So let's head into the double game week that we're coming into right now. I think we have like 8 teams with 2 games, and Darius said off here. I believe Liverpool may have one as well.
Yeah, in game week 36, Liverpool might have one. They say
36. Okay.
They say it's 60% similarly to Arsenal chances of winning the Europa. 60% sure that Liverpool might have a double game week. But let's go into some players that we should buy, hold, and sell. I would love to do, if we as a collective unit, could pick 3 players we could buy, hold, sell. Maybe we should start with who to sell first. Going into this game week, who hasn't been performing and who might have one that we should sell and get rid of our teams.
Sell for me, I would say the Man City players. I think they probably need one more result to win the title.
Yeah, 3 points.
They made it through the Champions League final now, so I think Pep might give guys some rest. So I would go on a broad scale and just say get rid of your Man City players. Now, even this week they have a game against Chelsea. So like as well as guys like Diaz doing, they might get a clean sheet. You don't know who's gonna play up front. Maybe you might risk KDB and those guys and start Sterling and Aguero and those and those. So I would sell my Man City players.
Elon, what are you thinking for this double game week?
As far as who I'm going to sell or bring in?
Who do you think is a player you could sell? It would be a top priority to sell from your team even.
Well, so on my team, actually, I plan to get rid of two in particular. Phillips in defense. I plan to beef up the defense. I plan to get rid of Phillips, and I plan to get rid of possibly Veltman. To bring in 2 defenders that play in the double week.
Right.
And but they have to be able to. They're not knocked out. They're still going to be playing within game week 36.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking to do right now. Those are 2 guys, and simply because how I kind of operate with my team is I give them an opportunity to do something unless they cheat, right? So even if they have a rough week, I will give them a little time. And everybody else, if they don't have double weeks, they have a good run of games on my team. So
how many men do you currently have that have a double game week right now?
If I last time I see that 1, 2, about 7.
7, and then you're gonna make 2 transfers, so it'll be 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good number. That's a very good number. Double game week players. So who you gonna be like? I wanted to ask this question later, but I'll ask it right now then. So, talking about guys to sell, should owners sell Kane and Son? Because I see they're in your team right now. Well, people should hold them even though they have a single game?
I mean, you had to keep them. I mean, those guys are points. I can't see getting rid of them because it's against Leeds as well. As much as Leeds' defense has improved, I still feel they have this new happy feeling. Mourinho's gone, so I expect that they will put some goals on Leeds.
I'm a little torn right now by the fact that I was considering doing Kane to Calvert-Lewin. I think I will hold off on that I was just thinking like I should go all double. My thing on this game week, I probably plan to use the bench boost because I still have the bench boost. I
Okay, yeah.
just telling myself like, yeah, just get as many double men as possible and let it ride. I'm not really playing for much at this point of the season. I'm not high on the rankings, so
Right.
it's just like taking a wild swing right now is what I was thinking about. Like not necessarily hold on to Keane or study what percentage ownership Keane has and stuff. But the point that you made there, the fact that he's playing Leeds is why I think I'll just hold off on that. Because I was really considering I just get Calvert-Lewin 2 games. He looked good in the last game, but I'm just trying to hold off. But I will be making either -4 or -8 this week. So there'll be probably a lot of guys I'm looking to sell right now to just get a full 15-man bench boost squad.
Right. No, I definitely feel you with the I was thinking about the Man City option and thinking of how Pep is going to play it. I actually don't know if even this week it could be a preview of the finals in Champions League.
Possibly.
You know, it could possibly be a preview. So I was thinking, you know, people who, I know a lot of people still have Diaz on their team. I wouldn't keep him on my team. But then I was thinking again, listening to you, I was like, maybe he might play to try to win this one. So I don't know if this week he's gonna do that. But
yeah, well, they do need one more result. They do need a result.
True,
They need one more result. But I was just thinking, like, he has so many. He would have 3 other chances after to get a result. I mean, obviously, you want to wrap it up as soon as possible and pop the champagne and prepare for the CL final. But at the same time, I just think after a tough game with PSG, might want to rotate and put in Aguero, put in Jesus.
Yeah, I feel so.
Other guy, put in these guys who don't start. So.
Yeah. Well, for me, my sell is like I low-key, I have Pope and Ben Mee, and they have not been producing the clean sheets they were. So on a single game, I would get rid of my Ben Mee on my team and bring in a player more offensive that has the double game week. I would bring him in. I haven't been getting any points really from those guys, and you know they cost money. So as Elon was saying, you know, it's a space where if you have players who are cheaper and they might have 2 games, we could probably find a player who we could buy that's cheaper as we move forward in the episode. So let's maybe go on to players who we could hold on to that on your team. So as you were saying, I mean, Kane and Son is probably a big question for a lot of people.
For me, it was a big question. I would say in general, Elon had it correct in that people should hold Kane and Son. But for me, it was just as I gave my reasoning was, I'm not really playing for anything right now. I'm like way back in the pack. So I was just trying to take a wild swing, and I was just like, yeah, maybe I should go for Calvert-Lewin, but I think I'll hold. But somebody it's not on my team, but a hold I want to recommend is Jamie Vardy this week, because Iheanacho has been the guy making all the points. But I noticed that one of Leicester's 2 games in this double week is against Man United, and Vardy just loves scoring against the big 6. He loves to score against the big 6. And that's the game where I think Iheanacho might shrink, and Vardy will be the one to step up. So they play, and I believe the first game is Newcastle. So I think that's the one Iheanacho might produce, and I think against Man United, Vardy just love to score against.
So hold Vardy. I have Vardy in my team, so hold.
Yeah, I would hold Vardy. I would hold Vardy this week. Last year they crumbled at the end and fell out of the Champions League places after they were up there for so long. I don't really see it happening this time, although they do have a tricky schedule. Leicester have a very tricky end to the season, but I think this time they'll just scrape over the line, and I would hold Vardy this week. That'll be the one for me.
What are you thinking, Elon?
I am thinking holding Jota. And the reason why that is because, I mean, Jota, as much as the games are attractive, he not getting sweat, right? But I think after the more recent game, there is almost 2 games in a row, I believe he has not played. So the reason why I would say keep him is because when you look at the games, he'd have to start at least 3 out of them 5. 3 out, because it's 5 now, because he might
yeah.
Right? So I would say hold on to him.
And he's a decent price player. He's not somebody who's gonna hurt your bank account. He's not like a Sterling.
Nah, he's not.
I needed Elon on the show last week because I sold Jota last week for Sigurdsson who gave me nothing. So it's a little too late for me to hold on to Jota, but I would co-sign that advice. I mean, I
Yeah.
think
It kind
Liverpool.
of frustrates him, but he is cheap, right? So he is cheap. And then they have the game they're going to miss. But then, as you rightfully say, Darius, they're probably going to relocate that game there. I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, I think they would have that double game coming. And as you said, like he's going to play. If it's 90 minutes split up between games, he might get the same 90 minutes. So,
Exactly.
cool. I have Jota in my team right now, and you make me consider him. But my player to hold, this is my team going into the next game week, would be Salah. Salah would be my player to hold in this kind of double game week. I know people probably trying to split up money. I think Southampton could be a good game. Salah could score 2 in, so definitely. What you guys think of keeping all that money for Salah when?
Well, Salah is in my team, and I'm definitely holding. I was actually thinking of selling Keane over Salah. Salah was definitely a hold for me. Especially now the fact that Liverpool still have 5 games, and I just think they're going to have to go all out. Their chances of Champions League is very low right now. I wish Gomzi was here tonight to give his percentage on Liverpool's chances of a top 4 position, but I think it's low, and I just think they'll have to go out every game now and make sure they win, like guarantee they win, score a lot of goals, and plus also he's always in contention for the Golden Boot. So
right. That's what I was thinking.
That's another reason I would hold him. And now that I think about it, that's why I'd hold Keane as well, because they're going to be going for the Golden Boot.
Elon, any scenario where a player, let's just say in my position, wanted to get a next double game weekend, any scenario where you would sell Salah, or no scenario?
Can you scroll down to your bench while Elon answers that?
Yes.
Yeah, I can answer. No, I think it's that decision is now out the door. I think based on the games coming up, this guy takes penalties, and he still seems to be in the most informed in a team that is lacking form. So I can't see why you would. I mean, there was a time when we should have gotten rid of Salah. There was a spell where he didn't do nothing for like 8 games.
Right.
Got rid of him during that period and then brought him back. But now with the games coming up, I mean, you just showed the breakdown of their games. I mean,
all right, yeah.
My just quick 2 cents of the players I'm seeing in your team there. The ones I would look at would be Neto, obviously, because he's red.
Yeah.
And although he has a double week, I'd look at Mount as well.
Mount has been producing for me low key. Mount has been producing for me, He had let's see. Yeah, he had in the last
Chelsea schedule, the upcoming games are a little tough.
The upcoming games are tough, yeah.
I would look at Mount and maybe Neto. That would be the ones I would look at.
All right. I'll probably look to move to do that, but it's just so tough to take a guy like Mount out my team when you have a double game week, and it's tough to do to switch that. But definitely I feel it. The schedule is tough, and yeah, that Arsenal home game, that could be a 1-0 kind of game. So I know what you're thinking on the Mount situation.
Okay, go down a little bit. Let me see your defense now. All right. So I agree with the Neto. Has Tottenham been keeping clean sheets?
Good question.
Suppose they I had a few clean sheets. Well, from the last game they had a clean sheet against Sheffield. They hadn't kept a clean sheet until game week 26 before that, but they've been playing decent defensively.
Okay.
But no clean sheets.
Yeah.
You thinking of taking off Regulian and finding somebody else?
Well, Neto, for your team right now, I think you're good. You're good here. Even though I would have put Dallas in before Regulian.
Okay.
Simply because I think Dallas does more attacking.
All right.
Definitely gets more shots on target, and the game is against each other, so it can go either way, obviously. But I would go with the person who is taking more shots. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Maybe we can move on now to players who we think we should buy for this game.
All right. How about you start us off this time?
Well, I guess the hot player to buy this week would probably be Iheanacho, which everybody, I think the top 1K players in the world probably would have him in their team by now, if not this game week coming up because of the double game with Newcastle, Manchester United. As the first player, I would think the hottest player right now, and he has a double game week against one of the worst teams in the league in Newcastle. What do you think, Elon?
Oh no, I agree. I guess Iheanacho and Vardy.
Vardy gave him a real mad last game, boy. Vardy gave him a mad last game, boy. No key. That captain's armband was still there from last week.
Right.
So a little bit hurt right now. So I don't know if we could.
Yeah, it was a hard week. I mean, nobody.
He had two good chances, two good one-on-ones, and he just called it.
Yeah. So funny enough, I for as far as bringing in, no, I have the guy already.
I'm gonna pull up your team.
It's Fernandez, but if I was
Fernandez.
I'm sorry, Fernandez. Yeah.
Okay.
I would recommend that people bring in Fernandez, simply because the games. I mean, from the UEFA game, you know he can just blow off at any time. At any time.
I'll push on to the next game week, they're playing. They have the game against Aston Villa.
Yeah, and then Leicester City.
And then Leicester.
At home.
Oh, actually, yeah. I think, yeah. And then Leicester at home. And I feel like Leicester, they've fallen short on set pieces, and then he takes set pieces, so he might get an assist. That might be an open game, and that has to be a fight. That Wednesday, the 12th of May, Leicester versus Manchester is a big game.
Yeah. I think it'll have goals.
So do you think Bruno is a player to buy this week?
Yeah, if you didn't have him, a double week, he has Aston Villa to play and Leicester City.
Would you sell Salah to bring in Bruno?
No. I will not.
Okay. Dari, would you sell Salah in this game week to bring in Bruno for the two?
No.
Okay.
And I understand that Bruno has an extra game on him, but no.
Gotcha.
I don't think Bruno form of late has been that great. And I also think due to the fact that I was about to say the fact that they have the Europa League, but they're up 4 goals on Roma, so hopefully Bruno can actually
of which he contributed to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying hopefully he could come off a little early in that game, because I was thinking playing on Tuesday. I'm not sure, but yeah, I still wouldn't do it.
All right. Well, who would you bring in? And by the way, Elon, Dari's a Manchester United fan, so he said.
I know.
I would bring in Calvert-Lewin, because that's the guy I was thinking about bringing in.
Yeah.
And as a two-parter with Calvert-Lewin, the fact that he has a double this week and then the following week he has Sheffield. Mm-hmm. So it's like a
three-parter, a trilogy.
Yeah, it's like a cheat. It's like a cheat buy there where you get him for a double game week for the chance that he contributes in the double, and then you also know the week after where a lot of teams don't have a game, that he's somebody you could actually captain in the following game week at home to Sheffield, because Sheffield is who everybody looking to rack up their goal difference. So I think that's a good buy. Somebody else on mine, but it's hard because he doesn't have a game week, but we saw Antonio perform this week, and West Ham is going to go for it in every game. Yeah. But the fact that they don't have a double is why I chose Calvert-Lewin just ahead of Antonio. But guys, if you're watching, keep also in mind West Ham have some good fixtures to close this season, and they're going to be gunning
West
for that
Brom and
fourth
Southampton
place.
To close.
They're going to be gunning for that fourth place, and especially if City helps them and beats Chelsea, then they could be tied on points. So it's going to be interesting there. But I'll say Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that for sure. That's why me park up in my team, right?
So is that who you're low-key trying to fit in there, Alan, as you're doing over there, trying to fit in Calvert-Lewin in your team?
But you can just see my team. I collect points this week.
No, I just saying, I don't know if that's what you're trying to do while we're talking over here. If you're trying to fit him into, like, what purchases you could make to fit him in. You already have him in your team. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
With one more. I know you said Vardy. Would Kane to Vardy in your team move be possible? Anything you consider?
No, Kane does not go. Kane does not go.
I mean, and he does have Iheanacho already, so he
Yeah, I mean,
can
that's
cover.
true. I don't
Cool.
need
Cool.
He covers it there. He covers it there.
The only reason why I wouldn't do that is, obviously it's Kane, but as you rightfully said, that I have Iheanacho already and he's in form.
All right.
If I didn't have one of them, I would have probably tried to find a way to get Vardy in first.
Darius, pull up my team. Let me ask Elon a question here.
All right.
I am in 72nd position to help you out because I am considering using my bench boost this game week. So I just want to see what he has to say. Being the number 6 guy in our league, top 50K in the world. I want to get your insight into my team. Because also, before the season, Darius and I made a bet with each other, and I need to beat him this season to be the winner of that bet. Talk to me on my team here. What are you saying here that I could do well? I have to sell Foster because I don't think he's going to play. So that's going to be one of my transfers, and then I don't know who the other one is going to be. So who do you see there that I could move out this game week? Because I'm going to bench boost. I want a full squad of 15 playing men.
Right.
So Foster plus 1 got to go. Who should be the second man I get out of my team?
Let me take a look at it.
Would you say Luton from Burnley? Because I know he only has 1 game.
No, you can put it back in the other way. I prefer that way, yeah.
Who would you suggest there that I could put out of my team for this week to maximize my bench boost?
To maximize.
Yeah, I have a couple guys there with 1 game. I believe
Size has
one, I believe. Lowton has 1 game, I believe.
Lowton.
Yeah. You would get rid of Lowton?
Yeah.
That means I'd have to look for a double game week defender and a
none of the Arsenal men.
Yeah, no, but Arsenal have a lot. Arsenal
have a double game and
one
is West Brom. One is West Brom as well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do Foster to the Crystal Palace keeper.
Crystal Palace? Why Crystal Palace?
Because they have a double as well.
They have a good double.
They have Sheffield and Southampton.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a nice double.
So I'm taking Foster to the Guaita, and then I will have to find someone to do Lowton too. I appreciate the help.
Crystal Palace just keep clean sheets though?
I don't know, but Sheffield I have to take the chance. Sheffield have to take the chance.
Right.
Who would the captain be? Unanimous captain of this team be here, Dari?
Right now I would probably say Iheanacho, but I have to think it over. Iheanacho has Newcastle on the first game. I don't think he might do much against United, but he could go a hat-trick against Newcastle. So.
Good. All right. I feel like at this point we could probably do, instead of going to the must-have players, I think we could probably combine it to the one player who we think is going to score the most points this game.
Oh boy! Remember one of the doubles we had earlier in the season? It was Pereira from West Brom.
Yeah.
Probably nobody had in their team. That's a hard question. I'll let you guys go first. Let me think about it.
I'll let you guys go first. Elon, who you think gonna score the most game week points this week? Wow, and I'm putting this on Instagram too, so
that's a tough.
You have it on your record. I'm gonna pull up the fixture.
And the interesting thing is, it could possibly be a single game week play, huh?
Because especially with Kane having leads.
Exactly. It could be a single game week play.
What's Kane blank and then he come and score a hat trick.
And Salah has Southampton, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's tricky.
Oh boy. I'll let you guys go first. I'm going last on this one.
Because even it's tricky. What are you thinking, Benteke? It's always be somebody off. It's never be somebody who you think it is going to be.
While he is thinking, I'm going to give you my bold prediction for the week right now. A lot of people on the internet are talking about bringing in Zaha for this game week, and I don't find Zaha look anything convincing in the last Crystal Palace game I saw. So I'm going to say total maximum points in this double game week for Zaha is going to be under 6 points in 2 games. Under 6 points in 2 games. Under 7 points, I should say. Maybe he might get 3 and 3. Under 7 points for Zaha.
You're hoping he gets 3 and 3 now?
Yeah. under 7 points for Zaha in 2 games combined is my bold prediction this week.
Elan, who you feel, right? Top
I
scorer.
heard that Zaha talk, and I was very confused by it because there's no evidence that
Thank
gonna
you
happen.
very much. I
No
am in
evidence.
100% agreement with what you just said there. 100% agreement.
So I'm not sure why people do that. I have a history with Zaha too, where when you feel he's supposed to do it, that's exactly when he does not do it.
And then you score a goal against Man City and some kind of nonsense.
Exactly.
A counter attack and he put it past and he will win.
Exactly. Boy, this week, boy.
Top scorer this week, Elon. I'm putting you down here. Hold on. I'm putting you down, writing it down.
I'm actually watching my team right now, and I'm thinking about that. I actually think now I think about God no. I feel like it'd be Kane,
Boom, Kane. Not Bale again. Not hat trick.
No, I mean he could get a hat trick. All of them could score. I mean his leads, they go back and forth all the time. Anything can happen in that game.
So Kane, I put
You go ahead, Darius. You go ahead. I'll let you go first before I decide.
My player this week. I can't.
I have two.
I captain Vardy 2 weeks in a row, right?
If you take one, I'll take the other. I have two in mind right now.
I captain Vardy.
Actually, I have two as well in there. I have two as well. Since we're doing twos.
Are we doing two? No. One diary. One top player this week.
Let's hear.
Because I put it down. All right, cool. You know what? And I'll go off the whim on this one. The top player, because I want to say Vardy, but then I know he disappointed me the last 2 weeks in a row. And it's hitting me.
It's Newcastle.
I'll do it again. Vardy.
All right. So I'm going to choose
one.
It's going to be a coin flip. I need a coin here. My two are between Salah and Ehi and Nacho. So let me see, who do I think? I'm going to do like our guess and choose a single game player in Salah, because they didn't play the Man United game. These guys are 2 weeks rested. Salah is going to be super energized. Liverpool probably need to win every single game to even have a slight chance to make the top 4. I'm going to say in a double game week, Mo Salah with a single game is going to be the top scorer. Hat trick. Write it down in permanent marker. Hat trick.
Hat trick by Mo Salah.
Hat trick Salah this week.
I don't have Salah in my books to captain him, as in I wouldn't have him there, but I don't doubt it couldn't happen. He's a guy who on his day, and Southampton on his day could get red cards, so and they shot a centre back already. So there we go. I don't mind it. I don't mind that pick as well. And I don't mind the Kane pick as well, because I can't see Kane watching all that Twitter peacock he gets, right? And all the memes that was created, sit back and not go for it at this game, and Spurs have to get it. So, and Vardy, please, not Trainer, please. So,
Vardy should do well.
I with it. I'll captain it. I'll go with you. We captain it, and Dari, you wanna keep some Gunner stock or?
Before we get into that, all right, go ahead. Let's hear some Arsenal talk, and then I'll just have some.
I wanna some little Arsenal talk. We like to if a guest is a diehard club fan and it's in your name of your team. Just I know you said earlier on you didn't like the way that the transition is going with Arsenal. Are there some things that you're seeing that you wish were in place, and not in terms of player wise, because on the off season they could probably bring in some players, but maybe tactical wise, some things that you would like to see, some players you would like to see play some more. Where would you like to see this club next season in August?
Okay, so there's a few questions.
Pay money full screen. Let me look into his eyes while he says this to see if I believe him.
Full screen. Full screen.
Right, no problem. So that's, as I said, there's a few questions, right? But the first one I want to respond to is what I would like to see is more inclusion with the leadership, with the fans. because they can't seem to. Why is it there's a disconnect from the time Arsenal Wenger decided to slow down because we weren't getting enough players. We know the money was there. We did over a whole new stadium. We charging the most, for tickets. But yet there's still a disconnect. Why the leadership is not having that conversation? And then when they do have a conversation, there's a conversation around Super League. So in other words, you're really not considering what the fans have to say. It's more about the bottom line, which is okay if that is the position you want to take. But historically, it has not been like that. So I guess this new regime, that's what they're trying to do, right? I think for me, obviously, what we're doing right now is what we can do, which is, we're pulling it up from the grassroots and we're getting the youths to make the job done. I mean, there's a couple of stars. I really like Smith Rowe. I saw Smith Rowe in the team. I find he needs to get more sweat personally. And then, it has the other players, Saka, and the young boy they have up in front, who is playing behind Lacazette most of the time.
Martinelli?
Well, no, Martinelli's on the left now. I'm not sure what they're trying to do there, but what's that? Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. So I like them guys. I like what they're doing. As far as Aubameyang, I'm not too sure what's going on his side, but he did have a good game. I hope he continues that form into the new year. We do need to buy some players, obviously. All right. Again, as Gabriel, he's doing a great job, but we still need somebody to command in the back. I like Partey, I do, but I find he's not roughing them up enough in the middle as well, But because if I need him to rough people up, and then we also need Aubameyang to play with courage and confidence, because we know what you can do. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but try and get through that, get over that. Martinelli, he needs to play more often than young boy around him. But other than that, we need to start also looking at some additional strikers coming in. I mean, if we want to be considered serious.
Well, one last question from me. Lacazette only has one more year on his contract after the season. So do you think they should give him a big money offer or let him go and play somebody like Nketiah?
Well, I don't think Nketiah can take over yet. So they're going to have to extend Lacazette if there's nothing out there, right? They're going to have to extend. If we can't get a proven striker outside, which is going to be difficult right now, right? We're going to have to extend. But knowing Arsenal, their policy is usually, once you get to a certain age, it's only so far they're going to be extended. All right, so that's going to be something that Lacazette going to have to consider to see if he's willing to do that. But that's a different story there.
All right, for me, quick Arsenal things and we wrap it up here is just from my perspective, I think it's kind of sad to see where the team is right now. That was the team my dad supported. Dad used to live in North London, and that's his team. And it just sad. We used to give each other a lot of, what we call in Trinidad, pikong over Arsenal and like Man United and stuff. So it's kind of sad for me to see where Arsenal fall. Also, being from Trinidad and for the purpose of this podcast, the wider Caribbean as well, we all like to poke fun at each other. If somebody's a Chelsea fan, you throw some talk for them. If somebody's a Liverpool fan, you throw some talk for them. They throw talk back for you at the same time. And I could tell you, honestly, I would say 40% of my football fan friends are Arsenal supporters. I have a lot of Arsenal supporting friends. And I don't even want to give them any talk these last 5 years because the team just has been bad. It's like, it's not even fun. It's not even fun poking fun at the Arsenal fan lately, to be honest. So I wouldn't mind seeing the team win the Europa League and get back into the Champions League to a point where they could attract some top players again and get back on top. I want Arsenal to be on top because I want to poke fun at them. It's the same like being here and living in New York. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, and for many years they didn't even poke fun at Knicks fans like Darius, who's a big Knicks fan because the Knicks were poor, but this year they're doing good. So you want to see your rivals do well. So I want to see Arsenal come back up to the top. I do like some of the youngsters on the team. Arsenal is always a team known for having youngsters. So, yeah, that's what I want to say. I hope they actually, obviously I'd want Man United to win the Europa League. But if they don't, I wouldn't mind if Arsenal do it and get back in the Champions League so that they could attract big players.
Yeah.
Yes, good. For me, I feel the same sentiments as you, Elon, on the team. I grew up watching Arsenal and the style that they played, and I feel like they had an identity, and I felt like they lost their identity. And it was always good to see, you know, when they tune on every week, you could expect a certain identity of a team. So I don't know the team that well to say like this change, and I just knew when Wenger left and a lot of players left, the identity of what Arsenal was changed.
Something I even said to someone today is like, for Arsenal being as great as we knew them in the past 20, 30 years ago, it will be amazing now to see if Man City comes and win a Champions League before them. Like, oof. You know, you would have expected Arsenal.
I thought he wasn't throwing shade at Arsenal.
Let me don't make
Alan. He gets a real picks, man.
Let me don't make Alan never want to come back.
Elon, I want to see you finish. Push out. What is your goal finishing this FPL season right now? Apart from our trying to win our mini league, but overall, what is your goal,
man? To be honest, my goal, I usually just try to see how much points I can get. What's the maximum amount of points I can get? When I look back at data, I usually just look at how much points for the most part. So you can literally tell what seasons were terrible for me, as opposed to for example, I remember seeing the birth of my son. My points dropped considerably that year.
That's my excuse this season, because my daughter is one, and this is actually my worst year ever, and my daughter is one. So
Let's move away from it a little bit, right?
This is my worst season ever. This is my worst season ever.
Yeah, so I just try to maximize points, Darius, to be honest. I know when I was, and right now I'm not as involved as I used to be. And even then, you know, it was all about looking at who was first in the world. If I was to try and catch that guy, what would I need to do to catch that guy?
Oh wow, okay.
So what that does is that you move out of your mini leagues mindset about trying to get 1 or 2, 3 points closer to this guy right here, and trying to focus on one on top. You take more risks, but once it's calculating risks, most of the time it works out. So that's what I try to do.
All right, well, we wrap it up there. Brother, thanks for coming on. I guess over the final, we have about 3 more game weeks after this.
Yeah.
So we try to get some other top 10 guests on. One thing I would want to wrap up and say is just on a non-FPL thing, and seeing as we are the island guys, and just talk in Caribbean wise real quick. I want to shout out everybody out there who doing anything to support the people in St. Vincent.
Yeah.
I know me and my friends here did a couple of things, so shout out to everybody who doing something to help everybody in St. Vincent. St. Vincent, shout out. Trinidad, so I had an in-law of mine, someone in the family passed today. They had COVID in Trinidad. I know the COVID situation is real bad in Trinidad right now, so everybody trying to stay safe, wear a mask. I don't know everybody want to get a vaccine, but who want to get a vaccine, try and go and get a vaccine. And just follow us, FPL guys, Twitter, FPL_Island guys on Instagram. See everybody the next time.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Darrell and Darius.
Thank you. Yes,
man. Give thanks.